Alexandria knife sharpening. And today we are going to fire up our new diesel heater for the first time in the shop. So I worked on putting it together yesterday and did some test runs for it. And as you can see out here, it's snowed. We've had the snow the past few days, and today it is 18 degrees out right now, so it's a little chilly. The shop, normally I use a little infrared electric heater in there, which is fine in the 30s and definitely in the 40s. It does a nice job of keeping my shop up around 60, but when we started dropping into the teens, it was just super cold in there. I couldn't get it above 50, and it made really working in there difficult. So the amount of heat that comes out of this little heater is really impressive, and I'm gonna go in and start it up and show you guys how it works. And we're gonna let the shop warm up, and I'll show you. We'll go back in a little bit and see how things are doing. So I left the infrared heater running last night on low, and we'll see where that's at, and then we'll go kick on the diesel heater and see what that does for us. All right, so I'm getting my coffee started here. We will come back in and get our coffee a little bit. We're gonna head out to the shop and fire up that diesel heater. Okay, so here is the Chinese diesel heater, and you can see I have mine up against my back screen door, which I have a little bit of insulation on, but this is my backyard door. There used to be a pet door in here, which has worked out really well. This is normally where I run my vents out for my laser engravers, but it is now becoming the vent for the diesel heater. So I'm going to remove this little piece of insulation that I just have blocking it. I'm going to build a better connection for the back here with a much smaller hole just to get that pipe through there and not have everything else. And I'm probably going to take this plastic off because we don't use the pet door at all. None of my pets will go in or out of this door, so it's never been used. It was from the previous owner. I have a battery down here I was charging. I had an old 12-volt battery to see if that would run the heater, but it seems to be having issues even charging. So I'm going to disconnect that right now and just hook up my this is a Noco Genius 10, and this had no problem running the Chinese diesel heater. So I have a connector for the Noco right back here. They do give you a wire, just a plain wire connector for it. I decided to go with something a little bit better. This has a I think it's a 20 amp fuse built into it, and this Noco Genius charger, which has been very useful because my wife's car didn't start this week. Her battery died from the cold. I had to use this Noco Genius charger on her Toyota Prius, and it recharged her little 12-volt battery and got that running just fine. It's so funny, this hybrid car with tons and tons of batteries in it is still started by a little tiny dinky 12-volt battery that's about this size. This is a lawnmower battery down here, an older one that I had. So I'm gonna try and charge this thing up. The heater will run off of that, but we're not gonna even bother with that right now. I'm just gonna hook up the Noco directly to it, put it on 12-volt supply, and get this thing started so we can get the shop up to a nice warm temperature in here. So let me just put the camera on a tripod for you, and I'll do all that. And we'll talk a little bit more about what you need to know about these heaters and some things to consider. So actually, maybe I'll just walk and talk. You guys can see what I'm doing. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is just disconnect my Noco charger from this battery and turn it off by clicking through. It's got different things, and one of them is off. That's off right there. It has a repair cycle, so it can run repair cycles and all kinds of interesting things, but right now we just don't even need it connected. So I'm going to take the normal charger off of here, and these are great little chargers. I have a marine one for my boat, and I have this one that I keep at the house for everything because it can do just all kinds of different stuff. But one of the useful things is it can be a 12-volt battery supply if you need that, which is what we do need to get this thing going. They do make all kinds of other, some of the newer ones have cables that can be plugged right into a regular wall socket. So what I'm going to do now, to put this on 12-volt supply, you have to press and kind of hold it. Actually, turn it on, and then you press and hold it. There we go. And you'll see now it says 12-volt supply. And it's got different cycles. One of them's a repair cycle if you have it. And I think I might have to run that on this battery down here. They're weatherproof, so this can be outside. And let me show you the startup procedure. So there's tons and tons of videos if you need to learn about, how to run this thing, how to use it, what the different settings are. But in general, they basically all work the same. The biggest issue that you need to know about these is just noise. I don't find it to be terribly bad running. It's pretty quiet, and you can run these outside, and that's what I was doing yesterday. I had this entire thing outside and just the hose in the shop. I brought it in last night to see how it would do running outside, and so that's what I'm gonna do today. So this over here is an air intake. It needs to be a clean air intake. I've heard different things. Some people say it needs to be outside to keep you from having a negative pressure in your shop. My shop is so not airtight that I can't even imagine that would be an issue, and I've seen plenty of people running it inside air if they know they have plenty of gaps in here. Like I said, I have a garage door over there. There's plenty of little gaps that let air in. That's one of the reasons it gets so cold in here. But you can do a complete outside setup. You can do an inside setup. People will extend the tubes. The main tube that absolutely has to be outside is the exhaust tube that is going out the door. That one would give you carbon monoxide if you had that in here, so you definitely don't want that in your shop. And this is the heater where the heat blows out. So if you hit this OK, the first thing it tells you is the temperature, and it says it's 08 Celsius. I don't know if you can switch it to Fahrenheit. I don't think it has that option. That is the speed control there. It's in kilohertz. 0.18 is the lowest, so we haven't even started anything yet here. That's telling me the voltage is pulling from the Noco Genius, which is 14.2, which is plenty for this to start. Apparently this has either Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. I haven't even looked for the app yet. This is error code menu if you have any error codes. Currently there's been none, and it's worked flawlessly, and that's it. And then it has timers, so you can set up a time. This is all zeroed out because it wasn't plugged into a battery to maintain that timer. And it has a cool little remote. So if I want to turn it on, I can hit the on button. And now you can see it's starting its startup procedure. And the most annoying part of these things is there is a fuel pump that clicks, and if you look around, there are some you'll see that it says like no clicking. I kind of wish that I had maybe knew that beforehand. I didn't know about the clicking noise. When they get going, you will hear this clicking noise, and if you want to go down a rabbit hole trying to silence the clicking noise, there are a million videos and guys that have tried all kinds of things, so building boxes and sound chambers and soundproofing the unit to try and get rid of that noise that you'll hear, which goes like tick, 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 and And the faster it goes, the louder that it doesn't get louder, but it's more often. It goes like tick, 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 tick. But here's what I'll tell you about it. And keep this in mind too. So that's the pump. Hear it? You can hear it now. So it is showing right now, the little pump light came on, which means it is now pumping diesel fuel into the chamber. And the next part will the glow igniter will light up, and then this will eventually kick off like almost like a jet engine. And you hear that, guys? Hear it ramping up? I'll shut up for a second. Now, the good thing is, as it ramps up in speed and warms up, that ticking also doesn't go away, but it gets much less noticeable. And when I had the entire unit outside and just the hose in here, I couldn't hear it at all. And the faster I ran it, the much less I could hear it. Now, the good thing is that in a shop, when I'm working, it's usually noisy in here anyway. And there you can go. It's really, you can hear it really, it's really getting going here. And it's not warm yet. And you'll also see down here, there's little indicator lights as it reaches different stages of its warming. And you want to see all of them maxed out. There's 2 green ones at the end. It'll just go all the way green all the way across the board. So you can probably hear more ticking, getting a little louder. But now it's not quite as obnoxious. But you know, that's the one thing that it will do. And so keep in mind also, the majority of the videos that you're going to see are guys that are taking this thing camping, for outdoor camping. So I totally understand why they are going through a lot to try and get rid of that thumping noise. Because if you're camping and trying to sleep, that might drive you crazy. But if you're in a workshop and working, you may not even care too much about it or even notice it that much. And the further you get away from it, literally when I just go about 10 feet away in the room, you don't really even hear it that much anymore. But I will say, there is a couple brands advertised. There's one that I've seen some nice videos on that says it doesn't click, and I'm already thinking of picking up a second one of these. I'd like to have one out at my lake house. I might try and purchase the one that says it doesn't make the ticking noise. There's a bunch of hacks. There's a guy who's making pumps for these that don't click. So those are all options. Now, do you hear it winding down now? So it heated up to get the combustion chamber going. And then once that combustion chamber is going, then it's going to go to the speed that it was set at. And now it's blowing warm air. And I'm not sure if you can see, but down here, I'm going to actually take the camera off. You can see my controller. So see, we got all of the lights now. And it is fully at full burn, which is exactly what you want it to be at. And this thing is really pumping some warm air out of it. And it just gets warmer and warmer and warmer as it goes. And I'm just going to come a few feet away. So I'm over by my computer. So you can hear that. You know, there's no doubt you're going to hear that little ticking. Now, I've also noticed a couple things you can do. A lot of guys are building sound boxes. Is one thing you can kind of encase in a sound box. I noticed that simply even doing this, I put a piece of styrofoam over it yesterday, and even that helps. But the other thing I noticed is simply, Alexa, play my favorite music.
Okay, playing your most played songs.
notice you can't really hear it all that much. So if I have music going, which I almost always have going in my shop, I don't even really notice it. And this is on the lowest setting, which I find to be the noisiest. I'm gonna speed it up for you. Alexa, pause. All right, so let's speed this thing up a bit. I'm gonna put it on high. Make sure it's on its highest. So its highest setting here, I think, is 5.4. Yeah. So that's what it says is its highest setting. Now, do you notice with the more rapid ticking succession, you don't hear it as much. So running this on high, although it's not going to be as energy efficient, you really don't hear the noise is bad. And I'm going to come over here just where my desk is, and you can see it's a lot more quiet. And do I have my electrical box in here? I do. Oh no, I don't. It's in the house. I'll come back later with my infrared thermometer and show you the temperature readings that I'm getting out of there. So we are warming up the shop. I'm gonna end this for now, and I will keep you posted as far as what I decide to do with this. Now I will say, running it outside of the door, I didn't hear that ticking noise at all, and these can be left outside. They're totally fine to leave them outside, and like I said, it's got the little remote control, so that's you can increase it, decrease it just by using the remote control. The remote control goes about 60 feet, so that's an option for you too. And the other option is also looking for a unit that doesn't click like crazy. But do you notice now it's really not that bad. So it's definitely a lot quieter, but it was kind of an emergency freezing cold situation here in the shop, and I think I probably would have looked for a unit that claims that it's quieter. Now here's the other problem is I've read some reviews that people are like, it doesn't seem that much quieter, or I own multiple of these, but the one review that I saw, the one unit that I was looking at seemed to be pretty darn quiet compared to this, but I don't consider that terrible. And for the amount of fuel this uses, which is like very little, like it holds I think it says 3 liters, which is a little less than a gallon. It literally, like, I ran it yesterday from 4 o'clock to about 8 o'clock to just burn off any weird smells, and they will smell a little bit when you first start it. In fact, I ran it outside, not in the shop, for like the first hour or so, just to burn off any weird plastic smells, because you will get some strange odors in the beginning until the machine breaks in, and then all that went away. And then I also brought in a carbon monoxide detector to be sure. And the other thing I have is, it's actually not on, but I'm going to turn it on for you now. This is a air quality checker that's like real time, and this will also give me carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, any type of carcinogens, volatile gases. And I had this running, and what was amazing to me with the air cleaner and stuff I have in here, my shop air is actually getting better readings than I was getting in my kitchen. And it has to preheat and warm up, and it does its readings with little lasers, so we'll let that go because it needs a couple minutes to warm up. I mean, it's really pumping warm air, and when I say warm, I mean the air that comes out of this thing is downright like hot. That is way hotter and way more powerful than my little infrared heater over here. And okay, so let's see. We were at 55. I think we were at 54 when we came in, so we're already up a degree. I'm gonna shut this off totally, and we'll come back in. I'm gonna go have my coffee. I'm gonna get my little infrared thermometer, and we will come back in here in a little bit. We're at 55, and we will see where we're at in 20 minutes or so. All right, we'll let the shop heat up, and we'll be back in. Okay, so here's just a little clip. I'm back inside the house, and I'm going to start a 20-minute timer. It's already been going, and we will see where we are and when that goes off. And I just wanted to show you the back shop door. So that is the exhaust pipe coming out of the pet door. But yesterday, how I set up, I had the whole heater sitting on that little cement pad and just the tube, the warming tube going in the shop. But you can see out here, I can hear the fan going and the air blowing, but only when I'm right up against the window. It's not too bad at all. And I can't hear the clicking noise at all, which is really nice. I'm glad I can't hear that in the house. It would be annoying if I could hear that in the house. So today's should be a fun day. I'm gonna be working on a Puma white hunter knife that came in. I showed, I don't know if I showed a little bit of it. I think I did the other day in one of the videos. But the customer is very excited to get it back and getting it worked on. So I'm, now that I can go in the shop and not freeze to death, I'm hoping to get a good portion of work done on that today, including re-lasering in the original branding on it, which has worn off over the years. So I will keep you all updated when we go back to the shop in about probably 16 or 17 minutes. All right, my watch timer just went off and it feels great in here. And do you guys notice it's kind of quieted down? So there's a tiny little bit of ticking, but nothing bad. And there's, like I said before, there's a lot of hacks for you can wrap that fuel pump. I saw one guy wrapped it with microfiber towels to quiet it down. There are a lot of people building literally little soundproof boxes, moving it outside the machine, attaching the soundproof box to it and putting it in there. But I can tell you right now, that's not even, for me in the shop, that's not even bothering me. And let's do the music again. Alexa, play my favorite music. Alexa off. So hopefully that doesn't demonetize my video for a couple seconds there of the video. But I have two Alexas in here, and when they're rocking out, there's no way I can barely hear that now from where I am. There's a slight banging, but it is not bad. For what I needed, and to not be having to deal with freezing to death in the shop, I am good to go. And like I said, and this is without, I don't even have my other heater running. So it has raised it 4 degrees already in about 20 minutes. And my other heater's completely turned off. I'm pretty sure I could heat my entire shop with that diesel heater. And I do have it. Is it on the highest setting right now? It's not even on the highest, I don't think. Let's see. Maybe it is. Yeah, okay. We are on the highest setting. So if I was concerned about fuel consumption, which for me, honestly, I'm not. I have no problem going and picking up $20 worth of diesel. I got a gas station right up the road that has it. If I can run my shop on diesel fuel, and I think from what I saw yesterday, I think a 5-gallon can of diesel fuel will probably last me a week or more. I'm good with that. But that is the Chinese heater for now. I'll give you further updates as we go along. If I run into any issues with it, I will come back in and get a couple videos to show you the temperature once I get some batteries for this infrared thermometer. Okay, one last final little clip of video here. I just want to show you, we are at 61 degrees and it's been maintaining 61 degrees all day. It is almost 3 o'clock. I've been running at half power and you can hear that tiny little tick, but I raised the unit up a little bit better so that it fits out the door a little more. But do you guys hear? It's literally almost not making noise. So I don't know if it was just more break-in time, since this is still only the second day this has been running. But I have my air cleaner running up here, and I'm telling you, the air cleaner's louder. I'm going to turn it off for you. I'm going to turn my air cleaner off so you can hear it. So, you know, you can hear the tick. But like I said, there's so much other stuff that goes on in here. That's not bothering me. You know, and to be warm over freezing to death, I'll take that every day. And like I said and showed earlier, I usually have my Alexas on playing music in here. With the music on, I don't hear it at all. So yeah, I can see where it's an issue. If you're camping with it, you might want one that's quieter or go through some more of the hacks. But I'm really amazed at how quiet this thing is running. And on full blast, you almost don't hear it at all anymore. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that. And let me just show you also, I wanted to show you the air quality checker. So this is the air quality checker that I have. And you can see here, so this would be carbon monoxide, and it's at 2 parts per million, which is totally safe. The CO2, which is carbon dioxide, is fine, 953. Everything else is in the green, or parts per million. That's particles in the air. TVOCs are total volatile gases, which is from all kinds of like spray cans and things, and you know, any type of solvents and stuff that you have. So not uncommon for that to be high, but as you can see, mine's not high, which is great. And I've noticed when I run my air cleaner, which is up on top of the ceiling, there's my air cleaner, it keeps that low. It actually keeps it lower than the readings I get in my kitchen. So I have more volatile compounds in my kitchen than I have out here. So yeah, really happy with it. I still might purchase the one that claims that it doesn't tick, even though some people say, well, it does, but it's quieter, and it kind of mixed reviews on that. I will put the link to this one in there. I've been, like I said, very happy with it. I will put the link to the one that claims to not tick. And like I said, I want one of these for my lake house. So I might actually bring this one to my lake house, because I have a big 2-car garage there. But there's a lot of times that I want to work on stuff and it gets really cold in that garage. But the owner before me had a lot of like fancy cars, and the garage door is already set up to run the exhaust of a car out one of the garage doors. So I'll be real easy to bring this there, and I could put it outside the garage door and run it and not hear it at all. So that's really cool. And I have a lot of space up there. I have a 3-acre property, so I won't have to worry about the noise there. But as you can see, it's not loud. Yeah, you know, you definitely hear it, but for a workshop, I think you're good. Let me show you. I'll just turn on. Here's my Tolker. You can't even hear it anymore. It totally drowns it out and masks out that noise, as does music. And you know, then you hear it if you turn everything off. So that's it. So there's the Chinese heater that's saving the day, so I can get back to work, because I have 4 more jobs to get through today, and oh, actually 5. There's one over there. But I wanted to share that with everybody. I'll put all links in, and I will definitely keep you updated on any other hacks or things I do to it. And if I buy
the other brand one that supposedly doesn't click.